Hi there, I'm Suzette Kroll, registered dietitian. I'm your personal nutrition guide. In this session, I'm going to talk about how you'll methodically add foods back in after your weight loss surgery. You'll have two diet phases after surgery. In the first phase, you focus on getting hydrated and starting to get enough protein down. And in the second phase, you'll focus on adding table foods back in. The first phase begins right away after surgery. As soon as you're allowed to drink, you should start working toward your 64 ounces of calorie-free beverages daily. Remember, you're not to drink any fluids containing sugar, so that means no juice, no soda, no sugar tea. If you need help meeting your fluid goal or having trouble drinking fluids, please see the video entitled Fluid Strategies. Once you're drinking at least 40 to 48 ounces of fluid, then start your protein. Remember, you're on a high protein diet for about a year following surgery. High protein is defined as 60 to 80 grams per day, and you're going to get this protein primarily from these protein shakes in the beginning. So again, once you're able to drink at least 40 to 48 ounces of fluid, start drinking the protein shakes. If you need help selecting them, preparing them, please see the videos, protein shakes and whole food protein shakes. Once you're meeting the fluid and protein goals, then you can start adding foods back in. Ideally, add foods in this order. This seems to be the order that they're best tolerated. First, soft dairy and soft and blended fruits, then blended soups and cooked vegetables, eggs, beans, and chunkier soups, fish and nuts, chicken and raw vegetables. I'm going to talk about each stage now and give you some menu ideas. The first stage of foods that you add back in is soft dairy. This includes yogurt. Now, the yogurt aisle can be head spinning. There's hundreds of yogurts: Greek, Swiss, low-fat, non-fat, soy, almond, all kinds of things. Yogurt might not necessarily be healthier than ice cream. You can see here this yogurt has 26 grams of sugar and the ice cream has 23. So it's important that you read the labels. This is a label of a plain non-fat Greek yogurt. You can see there's 7 grams of sugar in this. Now, yogurt is made from milk, and milk naturally contains a sugar called lactose. So there's always going to be some sugar in yogurt. Now, I know this sugar is from the milk only because when I look at the ingredient list, I see that it says cultured pasteurized non-fat milk and then live and active cultures. There's no sugar in this list. So I know that that sugar count, 7 grams, is coming from the lactose. That means this would be perfectly fine to eat, and this is not too much sugar. You're not going to find a yogurt with 0 sugar. This would pretty much be the lowest that you'll ever find, plain yogurt. These are some of my favorite brands of plain yogurt, and these are just regular yogurt. These aren't the Greek yogurts. So this would be a good time to maybe take a screenshot or stop the video and jot down some of these names. And then these are some of my favorite Greek yogurts. Notice I'm showing you all plain. I'm going to show you in a minute how to flavor them yourselves. If you start with plain, non-fat or low-fat yogurt or Greek yogurt, then you're avoiding sugar and artificial sweeteners. A lot of the sugar-free or zero yogurts do have artificial sweetener in them. So if we're trying to avoid both sugar and artificial sweeteners, start plain and then jazz them up yourself with things like this. When you're in the soft dairy and soft and blended fruit phase, you could add unsweetened applesauce or mashed bananas to the yogurt. And once you get into more solid food, you could add berries or maybe segments of little tangerine cuties. Baking extracts work wonderfully. There's probably a dozen flavors of these. Vanilla extract in plain yogurt makes vanilla yogurt. You could also use the peanut powder or almond powder. These are simply defatted, dehydrated peanuts or almonds. They bring in a little protein to the mixture as well. So you could start with plain, non-fat Greek yogurt, add a little peanut powder, little mashed up banana, and you have a great little meal. Besides the yogurt, cottage cheese is a good soft dairy. Again, unsweetened applesauce is a good choice. You might make your own protein shake, blending up Greek yogurt or skim milk with fruit, fresh or frozen, and maybe some added plain unflavored whey isolate protein to make it even higher in protein. Okay, the next foods that you'll add back in are blended soups and well-cooked vegetables. Blended soups may include crushed lentil soup, split pea soup, any kind of vegetable soup that you've blended down. so that it's like baby food consistency. And well-cooked vegetables, or vegetables that cook well and mash up well, may include carrots, sweet potatoes, asparagus, among many others. If you're needing help with menu ideas, see Pinterest. My account is my name, Suzette Kroll. Eggs, beans, and chunkier soups will be the next foods that you add back in. Notice with the eggs I've listed here in order: poached, fried in a small amount of olive oil or maybe a little butter, over easy, then scrambled, then hard boiled. This seems to be the order that eggs are tolerated best. You're going from a moist cooked egg to more of a dry egg, and how moist the food is going to matter a lot after surgery. So ideally try introducing eggs in this order. Okay, beans is in this stage also. You might use fat-free refried beans. You might use whole beans like a black bean, pinto bean, garbanzo bean, navy bean, cannellini bean. Any of them are fine. If you're not sure how to use beans, again, Pinterest is a great resource. Pound of Cure is a great resource. And in this stage, you can use chunkier soups as well. That would mean a soup that has maybe a whole vegetable in it. Just be careful not to pick soups that have rice or pasta in them. The next foods to add back in are fish and nuts. The fish that seems to be tolerated easiest to begin is going to be a flaky whitefish, or maybe a canned fish like canned tuna, canned salmon, canned sardines. It is fine to use seasonings. You don't have to eat dry canned tuna. You might try using plain non-fat Greek yogurt mixed in with the tuna instead of mayonnaise. That brings in even more protein by doing so, and a little more nutrition as well. Nuts are on this list, ideally raw nuts, not roasted nuts. And finally, you'll add chicken back in, chicken and raw vegetables. How you cook your chicken is going to matter. If you can prepare it in a method that's moist, like crock pot, Instant Pot, or poaching it, you're going to tolerate it better than a method that's dry, like a grilling it. Moist foods are going to be tolerated much better after surgery. Raw vegetables are on this stage as well. Remember to take small bites always with any food, but especially with raw vegetables, take small bites, chew really well. What's after chicken? Once you're able to tolerate chicken, you probably can tolerate most any other food. The idea ultimately is to not live on protein shakes. It is to be able to pick up enough protein from these foods, from soft dairy, from beans, from eggs, from fish, maybe from a little bit of chicken. And ultimately for weight loss maintenance, going back to that produce phase where you focus on eating more vegetables, more produce, more vegetables and fruits, really than anything else. So lifelong, you're looking at heavy plant-centered meals, lots of fruits and vegetables, beans and nuts and seeds. Okay, that's how you add foods in after surgery. I will see you next time. I'm Suzette Kroll, registered dietitian. I'm your personal nutrition guide.